Oi, fala aí pessoal, bom dia. Você está escutando o Inglês no Rádio. I am your host, Foster Hodge. This is your daily dose of English.
Hey, Alexia.
Hey, Foster.
How are you?
I'm fine. What about you?
I'm doing wonderfully. We have so much to talk about this week.
I don't feel like talking.
Yeah, so just to give a quick recap, a quick revision, this entire weekend we were in Charleston, South Carolina for my brother's wedding, which was very, very exhausting for Alexia.
Well, I was very happy, but it was really, really mentally exhausting.
Yeah, so we have a couple of different things, and I think we will need more than one episode to talk about all of them. So, first of all, you had to speak at the wedding, which we've already talked about. We will talk about how that process went, if it was successful or not. Spoiler alert, Alexia did wonderfully. And then just kind of the wedding itself, how it went, talk about American weddings, meeting my entire extended family, which is like 5,000 people.
I can't remember the names, whatever.
And of course, we have to do an Alexia immigration episode because every time Alexia enters the United States, something crazy happens. And this time was the same.
I think it's all right in the system, like, okay, now I have to take her to the room.
Yeah. So let's start easy. Let's just talk about the wedding, the experience. How was it? Maybe some tips for Brazilians going to American weddings. Alexia, what were your first opinions of the wedding?
Well, as I was thinking all the time, like about Camden and Christine, how they were handling
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah. Just a quick tip. Handling, if you're handling like a situation or something, that would be lidar com. Right?
Lidando, como você está lidando.
Exactly.
So how they were handling, because I was thinking like you have to get there and then you have to get ready to go to the welcome party / rehearsal dinner. But before that, you need to go to the rehearsal at the church for the wedding.
Yeah.
And then the other day, the bride had the lunch / brunch with all the VIP women. I don't know.
You consider yourself a VIP woman.
Yes, I am.
I also consider yourself a VIP.
And then she had to left that place to get ready.
She had to leave.
Yeah, she had to leave that place to get ready and go to the church 1 hour before the wedding itself, the ceremony, take pictures, see the groom for the first time.
The first look.
Yeah, the first, which I don't understand that at all. I don't agree with that at all.
In the past, it was a true first look, like at the wedding.
Yeah.
Now they have like a fake first look to do photos.
I don't get that at
Kind
all.
of weird, but on our wedding, we can't complain.
Yeah. And then the wedding, and then the party. So it's like nonstop. And when it's my turn, I want to be relaxed. I want to be with no dark spots in my eyes. I want to be
We say
like
bags under our eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so bags under our eyes. So just to recap for this particular wedding, we had Friday night. First, we had to do the wedding rehearsal.
No, wait. First, we traveled.
Yeah, of course. Everyone has to travel to the wedding. Yeah. So we had to drive from Spartanburg, where my parents live, to Charleston, South Carolina, a beautiful city, which we have talked about a lot on this podcast. Maybe Alexia's favorite city in the U.S.
Yeah.
And so we arrive in Charleston. We have to do the wedding rehearsal, which that means everyone who is actually participating in the wedding like the bridesmaids, the groomsmen, obviously the bride and groom, the parents, the people speaking, Alexia in this case, and just do like an hour of practice, make sure everything's okay.
And it was a small wedding party, right? So it didn't take that long. It didn't take that long to do it.
It didn't take that long. Yeah, compared to some of the other huge weddings we've been to. Yeah. And then we had what Camden and Christine called a welcome party. A lot of weddings will actually have a rehearsal dinner where you give toast, which like you tell stories about the people. We didn't do that.
Your dad was really into that.
Yeah. So we had a welcome party. What did you think about the welcome party?
I loved it. I really did. But I would have done that 1 week before.
Yeah.
Because it's like it's only for the family. It's only for people who are close to the groom and the bride. It's not the whole wedding, right?
Actually, in this case, so in most traditional American weddings, you have the rehearsal dinner, which is just for the family and close friends, people in the wedding and then family. And then the welcome party is open to everyone invited to the wedding. So in this case, we just had the welcome party. So everyone that was invited to the wedding was invited to the welcome party.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. What did you think about it? Was it fun? What we do?
Yes, it was fun. It was my first time meeting all your dad's family. So like 10 brothers and sisters and 100 cousins.
Literally. So my dad has 7 brothers and sisters, hundreds and hundreds of cousins. And one interesting thing that we had to deal with is my grandparents. So my mother's mom and dad, my grandparents, they were there. And my grandmother just turned 95 years old yesterday.
Yes. So sweet.
We arrived at the place for the welcome party and immediately...
Can you say her name?
Her name is Willette.
Willette.
Yes. I would say that is a very old lady name nowadays. You don't hear too many Willettes nowadays. But we arrived. It was just Alexia, my mom, and me.
And your dad.
Yeah. At first, it was just us. And the first thing we saw was like 100 steps. Very steep, very hard to climb.
Like, it was hard for me in high heels.
Yeah.
Very, very small steps and really like íngreme.
Yeah, I would say steep.
Steep.
You could say there's a very high incline or something, but steep means like it's really hard to walk up. Yeah. So my mom instantly freaking out, thinking that everyone's going to die. And my grandmother, like a champion, walked up and down those steps. So proud.
It's my favorite phrase nowadays, expression, if I could say. When you had to do it, you do it. Like, you don't think twice. So she was there to see her grandkids getting married. Mm-hmm. So she was there to do that.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah.
Then
I was impressed. And then your grandfather climbed the whole other stairs to the 3rd floor, to the rooftop.
Yeah, they were so happy. It was beautiful.
Yeah, because when I first saw him, he was looking at me and asking all about the place, and I said, yeah, there is a rooftop right there. And he said, is it okay to go there? And I said, yeah, it's a little bit cold. And he was looking at it and thinking about how he could make it. And
how he could make it.
How he could make it. And 30 minutes later, he was there with your cousins.
Yeah, he was very excited, very aggressive, maybe pushing himself physically a little too hard. But yeah, the welcome party, really just a chance for everyone to, catch up, talk to everyone that's going to be there, talk to old friends, eat good food.
The food was amazing.
Yeah, very cool. So then Saturday, the day of the actual wedding, Alexia had to attend a bridal brunch.
Yes.
which, as Alexia said, that was like the VIP women in the wedding.
Yeah, the 2 bridesmaids, the moms, the friends of the moms, the cousins, me, and your aunt. Yeah, one of your aunts.
Yeah. So I think that was a nice experience. But just to give you an idea, so Saturday morning, I didn't have to do anything. I just went to brunch with my dad and my brother. One last kind of bro brunch. And when I got back, Alexia was in the hotel room, completely in the dark, completely under the covers in the bed. And I was like, hey, amor, how was it? And she was like, não fala inglês comigo agora.
I was so tired. And I was so worried about the what I had to read during the wedding. So
Yeah. So then we had the actual ceremony, and it was beautiful. We will talk more specifically about how Alexia's speaking was.
huge blur. I have no idea. You have to talk about it because I have no idea.
Yeah, Alexia said she completely blacked out. But she did great. But we'll talk more specifically about that in the next episode. And then we had the real wedding party.
Yeah, the real wedding party was in an amazing place. Cannon Green, is that?
Yeah, Cannon Green.
Yeah, and we went with
Took a little bike taxi.
the bike taxi. It was so cool. And the guy was in Brazil. He visited Brazil like 2 years ago, 3 years ago to Recife, and he was so glad that he could talk about it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Most of the time when people say, where are you from? I'm like, oh, I'm from here. Alexia, she's from Brazil. People are like, oh, I went to Buenos Aires. And he was like, ah, cool, I was in Recife.
Yeah, and he was talking about Porto de Galinhas, and he said Porto de Gallo, something like that, but it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there was a band, of course. The band was there.
Yeah.
And
almost all American weddings have a band.
I love it.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, I love it. And of course, I was dancing the whole night. But my first dance was with your dad.
Yeah. My dad just grabbed you and started dancing.
Yeah.
I didn't even have a chance to.
You had. You didn't want to.
Yeah. So I think everything went really, really well for the most part. She said yes. Everyone was happy.
Mm-hmm.
And Alexia was absolutely the star of the party.
No.
Which at first was really cool because obviously Americans are interested in like, oh, you're from Brazil. There are 300 people here and you are the only person not from the U.S. I want to talk to you. And that was cool. But then every conversation I had was like, Alexia is so amazing. Like, you are so lucky. And at first I said, thank you, I know. And then it's like, okay, yeah, I get it. Alexia's more popular than me.
He was so jealous. After the whole wedding, we went back to the hotel room and he was like, no one even talks about me. It's all about you.
Yeah. So in the next few podcasts this week, I want to talk about your immigration. I want to talk about your public speaking. I also want to talk about kind of this idea of you had a really intense, like 3 or 4 days of English and what that does to you. Like yesterday, Alexia could not really speak or move or do anything. And I think that's a really important experience that I have a lot to say about. And what more? I think that should be it for today.
Yeah, that should be it. Now we are in Greenville, taking care of Josie, your brother and sister-in-law. Now she's your sister-in-law.
Oh, shit, yeah. Christine's my sister. I have a sister-in-law.
Yes, you do.
Bye. That's cool, I guess. Yeah.
And taking care of Josie. So Greenville is my second favorite city. You can check it out on Instagram, whatever I'm doing around here. So go there in Inglês Negro.
For sure. Alexia's here. We have a podcast studio set up in my brother's room. That means we have tons and tons of cool material and shows coming your way.
Yay!
All right. We will see you guys tomorrow.